those win you football matches and just what Bolivia did in what you just saw. Talking about the 2015 Copa America. Good morning and welcome. My name is Yemi Adebayo, and of course this is the Friday morning edition of Sports This Morning on your award-winning Channels Television. We had to take you to Chile because we're going back to Chile in October. Don't forget that the Golden Eaglets will be in Chile. But of course, we will be talking about the Copa America this morning, and of course it will take center stage, dominate our thoughts. A lot of important matches played. We have two semi-finalists now. Chile will take on Bolivia in that one. Before I move any further, let me quickly introduce my partner to you. It gives me pleasure to introduce Niyo Kwande. Let me quickly welcome you and allow you to react in 10-15 seconds to what you just saw.
Well, the Copa America has been exciting so far. You know, when the tournament was about to start, there were fears that most of the players that were participating in this tournament will be burnt out, looking at the long and strenuous European season.
Coming from Europe.
Yes, exactly. But I think that has not been the case. Although some of the big players have not really turned up, you know, the likes of Lionel Messi, you know, Neymar has found a way to send himself out of the tournament. But some of the other players that are not as, you know, highly ranked like the top players have also come to the party. Just like we saw Guerrero scoring 3 goals there.
All right. Okay. As we usually do, let's bring to you the headlines, news, and top stories making the rounds from this part of the world. Let's bring that to you quickly. Well, Super Eagles goalkeeper that's talking about Daniel Akpe is edging closer to moving abroad. We hear reports say that the goalkeeper is close to sealing a deal with South African side Chippa United. We also hear that Congolese side AC Leopards are also interested. So good for Nigeria. Daniel Akpe edging closer to move abroad. Well, as the drama continues, football fans are asking this question: what next? Coach Stevie Kechi, Vincent Ayama, Ogeye Onazi, what next? We're waiting for the verdict, the decision that will come out of all of this. As you already know, Vincent Ayama did show up at the disciplinary hearing, and Coach Stevie Kechi showed up. And so we'll wait to see how all of that pans out with the Nigerian Football Federation in the middle of all of this. Some members of that disciplinary committee have already been making some statements, but we'll wait for the verdict. But the question is, what next actually? What's going to happen, okay? All right, we move on. The man in your picture, talking about Benga Ogumbote, 3SC coach, Shooting Stars coach, East Hamid High, is looking for an away victory against Taraba United. And who can blame him? Everything has been going on well since he joined the Oluyole Warriors. So we'll keep our eyes on that and see what happens. We'll also bring to you the Globe Premier League fixtures this morning on the show. And this one might interest you. World's fastest man, 6-time Olympic champion, talking about Jamaica's Usain Bolt, declined to race at the Jamaican national trials. A lot of reasons, speculations as to why he opted out. And it was a good way to get himself ready for Beijing. You had Nesta Carter, Ewan Blake, Nick Ashmead, all the big Jamaican guys. They could have used it to, and that was the intention really, to prepare for Beijing, but both declined. And of course, talking about the Diamond League meetings in Paris and Lucerne, is saying, I'm going to decide if I'm going to participate next week. I'll allow you to talk about all of that later on the show. Well, also, we'd like you to be a part of everything that we're doing on the show. We want you to get your thoughts, views, opinion, suggestion, comments, contribution, criticism across to us. And this is how you can do it. It's on your screen. If you're watching us for the first time on Facebook, post your comments. It's on Channels, iPhone Sports. On Twitter, the official handle, @channels_sports. And of course, you can tweet at me. It's right there on your screen, at Yemi Adebayo. Trying to get your views across to us on the show. Keep us talking. Let's know how. If you talk about the Super Eagles, talk about Copa America, talk about the FIFA Women's World Cup, Nigeria crashed out, competition continues. Talk about all of that on the show. Nii, where do we start this morning? No better place to start than Copa America. 2 semi-finalists. Chile takes on Bolivia.
Well, that's going to be a cracker, really. But if you look at it in another way, is it Bolivia or Peru?
Oh, sorry, Peru.
Peru. Chile is playing Peru. If you look at it in some way, really Peru, they're in South America, it's like there are 3 classes in terms of golf in playing. In the teams that are there, about 10 teams there. Yes, we have the League of Brazil, Argentina, you know, Colombia, and
squeezing Uruguay,
you know, and squeezing Uruguay through, and the second class. Then the final class that has Venezuela and Ecuador. Ecuador, I think, will squeeze into that second class. Okay. The third class would be Venezuela and maybe Bolivia and the like. And I think Peru, Peru are actually in that second class right now as it stands. And if Chile are not careful, they would be. But looking at the fact that they are playing at home, you know,
and the fact that they've not won it before.
They've not won it before, really. The pressure on them to win it is very, very great. Out of all the 10 teams in South America, Chile are the only team that have not won the Copa America. Every other team since it started,
lesser known countries like
they've all won it. At some point, you know, they've all won it. Yes, they've all won it, apart from Chile. Okay. And they are the host. There's plenty of pressure on them. I think they have to deliver. This is not the match where they will have to give any excuses for not delivering, even if it has to be just one goal. But the style Chile plays is a style that, you know, it's very, very great for teams to play, but sometimes can be very, very tough because they play very, very high line. They usually play in the opposition half off the pitch, and they are always in your face.
Try to dominate from start.
Try to dominate and try to take the game away from you.
Let me help you a little. Let's take a look at the results. You already know that Chile are through to the semi-final. That ill-tempered game between Chile and Uruguay. Well, not really ill-tempered, but Edson Cavani got himself stupidly sent off in that one. So those are the results for you. Quarter-final results: Chile 1-0 over Uruguay. And Bolivia losing 1-3 to Peru. So these 2 teams will play in the semi-final. Let's take a look at the other quarter-final fixtures that has the heavyweights, like Nii told us. And that's it on your screen. This one, any day, anytime. You just want to watch this game. I wish that this game was taking place in 1990, where you still had Diego Maradona on one side and what's this guy's name? Carlos Valderrama, the Colombian legend. I would have loved to see that kind of game. What you had Lionel Messi and James Rodriguez.
But even as it is, we have bigger stars if you want to look at it, because Lionel Messi overshadows any other name you want to talk about in the 1990s. And Colombia have got great stars as well. They've got Falcao.
Radamel Falcao.
Yes, they've got.
He's still struggling, by the way.
Still struggling, but still a superstar, you know.
Okay.
He's on a heavy amount of money in the club he plays for. He's about to move on. And they also have the Real Madrid superstar. Sorry, James Rodriguez.
And Jackson Martinez still somewhere. Somewhere in there.
Yes, about to get himself a move into a top club in Europe as well. But I think, looking at the game, I think it's going to be Argentina who's going to shed this. The only reason I'm giving it to Argentina is because of the X factor, Lionel Messi. We know that he has not really, you know, gotten himself into the tournament as a whole very, very well, like he's expected to do. But Argentina have been moving on, you know, progressing. And no matter what Colombia, although it's going to be a very tight game, you expect Colombia to be very, very tough. It's just going to be like the Chile-Uruguay game. It was very tight, very tough, but at the end of the day, Chile won. So I'm expecting Argentina to go through so that Argentina and Brazil most likely will meet in the next round.
Argentina, well, the coach, talking about Tata Martino, I don't envy him. You have a top-heavy side, and you have this, you're going to have migraine trying to put Carlos Tevez, Sergio Aguero, Gonzalo Higuain, Angel Di Maria, Lionel Messi, trying to make all of these guys play and leave no space for other kinds of players that can do the job.
I think it's just a generational thing at the moment. Argentina are very, very top heavy. They have fantastic strikers. Just Argentina, they've got Higuain, they've got Tevez, they've got the Manchester City man, Sergio Aguero, and they've got Lionel Messi. And also Di Maria is also there, you know. And it's the former coach of Argentina, Leandro Sabella, when he was still their coach, he was always saying the greatest problem he had was, you know, having to watch his team being countered because they were so good going forward, but he had to cover his face.
Just no balance.
Yes, the balance was just not right, and the greatest challenge Martino has is finding the right balance between attack and defense.
Sacrifice some of the players.
And, you know, Sergio Aguero has always been the man who is starting, because even if you look at the statistics, Tevez's record internationally has not been so great. I think he scored about 12 goals in 62 matches or whatever. So Sergio Aguero always gets the nod, and Aguero with Messi up front, I think. With that, they should be, you know, they should have done enough. They should do enough too.
Let's talk about arguably the most successful team in Copa America in recent times, Brazil. Neymar is not here. We hear he's just gotten a new tattoo, by the way. But Neymar is not here, and Brazil, well, trudging on. And I don't know, what do you think will happen to the Brazilians? Do you still see them scaling the hurdle and moving forward?
Well, Brazil are actually playing a very tricky team. They're playing Paraguay, I believe. They're playing a very tricky team, and they have to be very, very careful. You know, they don't have the X factor, which is Neymar. They don't have him in their team at the moment. Of course, they've still got Willian, they've got Firmino, they've got a couple of other very, very brilliant. Coutinho is also there. You know, these guys can come up with one or two things, but I think the Paraguay side, if they stay compact and very, very solid defensively, they can actually pull this game into extra time. I think it's going to be a very, very tough game for Brazil. Although I expect them to win, but it's going to be a very tough game.
If it's the Paraguay that I used to know in the days of Jose Chilavert,
yes,
you're going to try and try and try.
Although the current Paraguay team going into this tournament, I didn't give them a single chance.
I didn't as well.
I didn't. But as the tournament has progressed, you know, they've improved with time. You know, and they've really gotten better. And you really don't want to just say, oh, Brazil to win it. No. Brazil will just try, probably will drag this game into extra time.
Let's resist the temptation not to leave Chile. We have to leave Chile because time's going on. We're going to leave Chile and go to Canada right now. All for you on Sports This Morning. All right, let's quickly talk about the 2015 Women's World Cup. Let's give to you the quarterfinal fixtures. Some of us thought Nigeria was going to be here. Unfortunately, we're not here. But that's it on the screen. Germany takes on France. China takes on United States. You would love to watch this game. England. I'm saying it again. England. Surprise.
Yeah.
In the quarterfinal, I'll take on hosts Canada. Another surprise for me. And Australia take on Japan. Quickly, 1 minute.
To look at this in 1 minute, it's going to be very tough. Germany is playing France. That's the pick of the bunch. Germany has about 2 players on 5 goals already. 5 goals already. And France have about 2 players also on 3 goals apiece as well. So that is the pick of the bunch of all the quarterfinal pairings. I think Germany will go through. They will do enough to beat them. Looking at the China-USA game, USA will beat them. I don't want to talk too much because of the time. I'm looking at England and Canada. Canada are hosts. So they've got the home crowd, you know, in their favor. But I think England are coming up gradually in world football. They just launched the Women's Super League.
Women's football.
In women's football.
Let's make it clear.
Yes. They are really going in leaps and bounds in women's football. They have the Women's Soccer League in England. Now, Oshuala is now a part of being a South Africa. I really think England have got a great chance of defeating Canada. Although Canada will, you know, try to make it a little bit tough because they are
and the home fans we have a say.
Yes, but I still think England will do enough to qualify. And Australia against Japan. Australia, well, for me, has been the surprise team of this tournament. I didn't even expect them to beat Nigeria. The most underrated team. Yes, I didn't expect them to beat Nigeria. Although I expected them to, you know, beat Brazil because people have been thinking Brazil is a great team. Brazil have not come on since the time Mata came onto the scene. They have not developed, just like England is developing. So I expect Australia and Japan, it will be a tight one, but I'll give it to Australia because of the pace they've got in front.
All right, let's take a look at the French team. A lot of players of African descent. And if I have to support anybody, I'll support the team that has some of my African sisters. Well, maybe United States too, but you wrote them off, and that's why I'm bringing it back.
The French team.
Look at these girls. Are you having a rethink?
Well, the thing is, the Germans are so strong and powerful. You know, they are both European powers, you know. They are both very solid and very, very strong. I think there's first against third in terms of ranking, I want to believe.
And they have a good technical backup.
Yes, but the thing about the Germans is that they are as good as their male team in some way. Not that they can face the male team and beat them.
But everything you can say about the male team...
You can just picture a corner kick or a free kick.
And it's a goal.
They are very good at that. So how do you find a way to beat this sort of team? Because there's no way you have to consider free kick.
Let's talk about the Americans as well. I don't know why you don't agree with me. You said Germany, France was pick of the bunch. I was thinking it was going to be America and China. I've not really been impressed with the Americans, and I must say. But in women football, Americans... you just can't write them off.
Well, I don't want to say I don't understand what you mean by not being impressed with them because they played the Nigerians, and despite the fact that Nigeria
did enough to win,
they did enough to win, but they could have beaten us more than a goal. Despite the fact that How many shots on goal?
Okay, let's forget about Nigeria and talk about United States.
But I am still giving it to the Americans.
Okay,
really. I think they're strong enough.
All right, so let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. When next thing he comes here, we'll look at all the predictions, and I'm very happy if France.
I'll be back here.
If France defeats Germany, I'll rub it in his face. Okay, let's go on a quick break. Probably, if we have it, take you back to Chile and allow you enjoy one of the matches. Then we'll come back for more on Sports This Morning.